Hi guys, TJ here. So I wanted to answer a very interesting question, and a lot of people actually ask me this question, and I get it, because when I first started, I did exactly what I'm about to tell you not to do. Now, some people will say, well, the landlord is being difficult, the estate agent is being difficult. I want to start my rent-to-rent business, or I want to start my service accommodation business, but I just can't find a landlord that's going to willingly give me the property so that I can run the business. So some people say, should I just do it either way without telling the landlord or the estate agent? So let me go back to a very interesting story of mine. This was a property in a place called East India on the DLR. I took on a property with an ex-landlord called Mr. Singh. Mr. Singh was a lovely man. Mr. Singh, if you are watching this video, you still owe me my deposit. You still owe me my damage deposit of over £1,500 from 2014. But I'm sure we can sort it out if you're watching this video. I doubt you're watching it. Either way, so I took on this property from Mr. Singh. I told the estate agent what I wanted to do. The estate agent said, hey, listen, Mr. Singh's not really going to go ahead with this, but you know what? If you want to take it on, it's your own risk. And I said, of course, look, I don't mind. I'll do whatever I need to do to make some of this money. Wrong mentality. So I took on the property. I was running my service accommodation business in there for about 7, 8, 9 months, and everything's going well. Pay Mr. Singh the rent on time. One day, there was a massive leak. Now, the management company assumed it was coming from me, so they sent over their own plumbers, they sent over people to come and check it, and they couldn't find the leak. We found out later that the leak was coming from next door, but they didn't check next door because they didn't really like what I was doing in the business. They just assumed it was me, and they thought I was being a pain. But either way, the leak came through my bathroom and ended up into the corridor, and it destroyed all the flooring in the corridor. This is where the issue is. I didn't have the money to fix it myself. And I thought there's no point of me fixing it when the leak is still happening, because if I fix it and they haven't found the leak, it's just going to cause more and more bother. So I left it, which is really bad because I wouldn't do that in my own property. Now, the problem is I couldn't call Mr. Singh to say, hi, Mr. Singh, I need you to come and really put your foot down and make sure this situation is sorted out properly because your property has been damaged. Why? Because I was having interchanging guests and I was running my business from there. Now, one day the management company got really angry. So they called Mr. Singh and they said, listen, you are causing damage because it's spilling out into the hallway. You need to come and sort this out. We've written X amount of letters. Come and sort it out. Mr. Singh turns up at the property. I'm not there. One of my guests is in the property. Mr. Singh puts the key in the door, tries to open the door. There's a chain on the back of the door. And the man, a Spanish man, pokes his head out and says, hola. I don't know what he said, but he said, hi. And Mr. Singh said, hi, you're not TJ. I'm looking for TJ. And they explained, they opened the door. He showed them the contract. He showed them everything to say that they had rented the property from me per night for the next week. Mr. Singh was really angry. He called me straight away. And I said, Mr. Singh, I'm really sorry. I thought I told you that I was going to be having guests. And he said, listen, you didn't tell me. You implied, but you did not tell me categorically. The problem with this is, if there was a fire, if there's an issue, his insurance is invalidated because he doesn't have the right contract, doesn't have the right mortgage, doesn't have the right insurance. And I learned my big lesson that way because he really sat me down and said, listen, I have properties all across the place with the mortgages paid off. I have properties that have no issue with you doing what you're doing. You should have told me specifically because you could have got me in trouble. Now, as I became a landlord, I realized that there are certain things you have to do properly because you are jeopardizing someone else's property. So let's go back into the purpose of this video. If you are going to run service accommodation, you have to make sure that the landlord is fully aware. And now, by making them fully aware, what you're doing is you're being responsible. You're being a responsible business person and you're ensuring that every single thing is in place. The landlord needs to have the right mortgage. The landlord needs to have the right insurance. Because if there's a fire, if there's a flood, if there's a fire, if there's an accident, the landlord goes to his insurance company to try and make a claim, and they're going to say, hey, we're not paying you out, because as we know with insurance companies, 99% of the time, that's a made up stat, but a large majority of the time, they will try and find a way not to pay you out. They'll take your money every single month, but when it comes to making a claim, they would say, well, this and this and this, we did an investigation and we found out you were running a business from your premises, whereas that contravenes this and this contravenes that, and we will not allow it. So again, I'm begging you, if you are going to go into service accommodation, make sure the landlord is fully aware of what you intend to do specifically in that property, so that they can make whatever the right decision is, and they can get the right agreements in place, and they can get the right consent in place. Otherwise, you're going to get both yourselves in trouble. I look forward to catching up with you.